Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to show you one of the models from Bosch Pro's 12-volt range, the Mini 6 circular saw GKS 12V26. You'll see it's a very compact machine, but I won't say more for now. Let me show it to you in the next segment. All right, see you in a bit. So here's the Mini 6 circular saw we're talking about, the Bosch Pro GKS 12V26. As you can see, it's a really compact machine powered by 12-volt batteries from the Bosch Pro range. That means if you already own 10 tools from the same range, especially the batteries, you can reuse them with this machine. As for the motor, it's a classic brushed motor, which means you won't get the benefits of a brushless motor. But the big advantage of this machine is, of course, how easy it is to handle thanks to its fairly light weight. It's actually just 1.14 kilograms. That's the weight of the bare tool, meaning without the battery. As for the handle, there's also a grip that covers a good part of it, which provides a solid hold, even though I find the handle a bit wide compared to other machines. For example, especially compared to drill drivers, but it's still reasonable. And when it comes to starting up the machine, there's a trigger that's locked by a safety mechanism. The safety is at thumb level, so you can activate it, which allows you to trigger the blade. And as you can see, the motor brake is quite effective, which helps prevent any risk of accidents. And since Bosch Pro batteries aren't equipped with a charge level indicator, you'll find one on the side. Right here, there's a small indicator that lights up when you start the machine, allowing you to check the battery status while you're using it. That way, you know where you stand and whether you need to plan for a recharge. As for the settings, you'll find a classic feature on any circular saw, an adjustable cutting angle, with a small knob at the front that lets you release the base plate so you can set it to the desired angle. So for example, I can set it to 45 degrees without any trouble. As for the depth, that's another classic feature you'll find at the back, a small knob that lets you release the base plate. There's also a graduated scale that really lets you set the cutting depth precisely. Regarding the blade, just so you know, it's an 85mm blade. So it's a pretty standard blade with a diameter that's easy to find in stores and a 15mm bore. As you can see, the blade is protected by a metal guard. So it's quite sturdy, which means you'll have good protection during cutting operations. As for changing the blade, there's a little spindle lock button here that lets you unscrew the tightening bolt more easily. And to avoid having to carry around a little Allen key just to unscrew it, the brand thought to include the Allen key. It's stored here in a small compartment that's easy to access, so you can carry it around without any trouble, and most importantly, without risking losing it. Before we jump into a quick demonstration of this mini circular saw, let's talk a bit about its technical specs, especially its rotation speed, which can reach up to 1400 revolutions per minute. This allows the machine to cut wood, for example, up to 26.5 millimeters deep at 90 degrees and up to 17 millimeters at 45 degrees. As for the accessories, you should know that this machine is sold in different kits, including one with several batteries and a guide. A parallel guide that makes it easier to cut along the edges. And you also have a small port that helps with chip removal and, most importantly, lets you connect a vacuum cleaner directly. Now let's see a demonstration of this mini circular saw, starting with cutting a piece of MDF that's about 8 millimeters thick. So here, I'm not going to use a guide, I'm just going to cut and try to make this part a bit cleaner. As you can see, it's pretty easy to control with one hand, so let's go. Of course, you have to disable the safety with your thumb, and then you can go ahead. You see a quick, clean cut, no trouble at all. At the same time, the thickness isn't very significant. The machine does make a bit of noise now, but as you may have seen as well, the motor brake is pretty effective. So all in all, it works really well. Now let's see how it does with an OSB board. So here too, it's pretty standard. I'm doing it one-handed, just like before. There you go, without any guides, obviously. Of course, you can always use a guide if you really want straight cuts. That's no problem at all. And honestly, doing it one-handed works great. And finally, this time I'm going to use a small guide. So just a heads up with this machine, since it's very close to the ground, or rather, since the motor is close to the base, you need a guide that's thin enough to let the machine move smoothly along it. So same as before. I get into position and start the cut. Let's see how the cut turned out. So it's on this side here. Honestly, nothing to complain about. Well, there's a small chip here, but it's not too bad. As you saw, we're dealing with a very compact machine that's easy to handle with one hand, which lets you make quick and efficient cuts. As for the motor, this machine is equipped with a standard brushed motor. So that means it doesn't have the advantages of a brushless motor. It's a bit of a shame, but at the same time, since this machine is a bit older, it's kind of normal not to have a brushless motor on this mini circular saw. In terms of performance, it's true that you shouldn't expect miracles since it's still a small device, a small model of circular saw, so it's mainly for making cuts. Up to a depth of 26.5 millimeters, so it's not exactly huge. In any case, it's much less than with a standard circular saw. And as for the rotation speed, that's also a bit lower than a regular circular saw, since we're at 1,400 revolutions per minute. But as you saw in the demonstration, it still allows you to make fairly efficient and quick cuts in different types of materials. And finally, regarding the price, know that this machine is sold for around 105 euros. That's just for the machine itself, without the battery or charger. So it's true that it's quite an investment. Thank you. Especially if you compare it to some of the circular saws available on the market, at least not in the Bosch Pro range, of course. So as a result, it's true that it's not cheap, but at the same time, we're talking about the most compact machine on the market, the most compact circular saw available, which still lets you do a lot of cutting jobs quickly and efficiently, as you saw in the demonstration. As always, if you're interested in this machine, feel free to check it out in the description. I'll share links to the best sellers for you, at least those offering this machine at the best price. All right, this video is now coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't hesitate to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And in any case, I'll see you very soon for a new video. See ya!